Hey everyone, it's me, Dana C. For today's video, I wanted to show you how I created my creamy, silky coconut milk bars. I am obsessed with the smell of coconut, and I actually wanted to create something that was going to be more of a creamy, moisturizing bar since my skin has been a little bit on the dry side recently. So I decided that I was going to add shea butter, silk, and coconut milk to this recipe. Now, the part that I didn't get to film was the adding of the silk, because it was at the very beginning of when I was doing all my prep work for the video. But I did film everything beyond that point of me prepping all my tools and ingredients, and I also did film the cutting of the bars, so you will get to see that at the end of the video. So if you want to see how I created my creamy, silky coconut milk bars, then keep on watching and let's go. Alright guys, so I have my oils here. They've already been heated. This is a combination of olive, coconut, palm, and castor oil. And I've added a little bit of mica to this because I would like to have more of a white color. So I've added a little bit of white mica to it. Just want to blend that in there a little bit before I actually add my lye solution. So now I'm going to go ahead and add in my lye solution here. And I've actually separated some of this out to mix with my coconut milk. And give that a little bit of a stir. Alright. Just wanted to stir it a little bit. And at this point, I am going to go ahead and add my coconut milk. Now I've got my coconut milk in there. And blend a little bit again. And this is going to be a small batch. This is actually going into a 2-pound mold. That's nicely blended. It's at a thin trace right now. So I'm gonna, at this point, it's okay to go ahead and add my super fat as well as my fragrance. So for my super fat, I'm actually adding shea butter. So in goes the shea butter. And fragrance. Got a little bit of a coconut fragrance in here. There we go. Let's go ahead and mix that around a little bit before I actually turn the stick blender on. Alright, so let's give it a whiz. Such a small amount, so it seems, I don't know, it seems like a little harder to mix to tap the bubbles out. I want to make sure that I got all the bubbles out of there. But I keep on just stirring it around before I actually turn the stick blender on. See, it's a little more difficult mixing when you're trying to keep the bubbles out in such a small batch. Well, at least in this container. I should probably use a more narrow container. That would help. That's okay. You know what? I don't think that white mica is going to do exactly what I want, so I'm just going to go ahead and add just a little bit of my titanium dioxide to the mix, because I would definitely like it to be more white and more opaque. I think that should be fine. Let's see. Yeah, that's a little better. Yeah, that's definitely a lot better. If you guys are going to be using something small like a 2-pound mold, I definitely suggest using a container to mix in that is a little more narrow than this one, because most of the mixture falls right where the holes right here of the stick blender are, so it does make it a little more difficult to keep the air bubbles out of your mixture. You always want to try to avoid as many air bubbles as possible before pouring into the mold. Grab my spoon mix, scrape down the sides, and then we'll transfer it into our mold. Alright, so I've got my 2-pound mold here. Slide this over, and we'll go ahead and pour. I may have some left over. We'll see. Might have to transfer it into another mold, whatever's left. Actually, this might be just enough for this mold. Scrape down the sides as much as possible. Try not to make a mess like I just did. And I apologize if my hand is blocking your view or if the container is blocking your view. Yeah, that was enough for this mold. Actually, probably could have made a little bit more, but you know what? That's fine. Alright, so I think what I'm going to do now is texture the top a little bit and then add some white mica to the top of it, just for a little design. And I like to grab skewers actually for that. So let's Try to texture the top. I think it's still a little soft. I mean, it's getting some texture, but I would like a little more. So I think I'm going to give it a minute and then come back and texture it. I'll probably give it about 5 minutes and come back and texture it with the mica on top. So I'll be right back. All right, guys, I'm back. I have removed my gloves for this part. And I'm going to continue to texture the top a little bit with some white mica. And one thing that I did forget to mention before was that I did actually add silk fibers to my lye solution before I went ahead and combined everything together. So I did go ahead and add the silk so that it can have a softer, silkier texture to the soap. And I did that before, added it to the lye solution so that it can melt in there. And I forgot to mention that before. But now, all that's mixed together. And again, in the soap, I said there was the silk, coconut milk, shea butter, coconut oil, olive oil, palm oil, and a little bit of fragrance. And now I'm going to add some more white mica to the top of this and swirl it around. All right. Swirl around, give it a little bit of texture. Oh, that's going to be a lot of texture. Perhaps I let it sit a little bit too long. But actually, that's fine. I like the way that looks. Oh, yeah, actually, it's a little too much texture there. I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit more of the white mica to the top. So that should give a nice, pretty pearlescent vibe to the top of this soap. All right. And I'm gonna let this sit for a while. I am not going to gel this soap, or I'm not going to force gel on it. If it goes through gel, then that's fine. But my intention is not to force gel on it, since it is a milk soap, the coconut milk. So once this is all set up and ready to cut, I will come back, cut the bars, and show you how they came out. And then they'll have a, I guess, about a 4-week curing time before they are ready to purchase. So I'll be back and I'll show you what that looks like tomorrow. Alright guys, so I am about to cut into these bars. I did take it out of the mold, and it's been a few days, probably about 3 days or so, 3 or 4, yeah, like 3 days. So this recipe that I made is a little bit different from what I normally do, so it is a little bit creamier than I originally thought. So I think that's going to be perfect, because at first I was thinking maybe I didn't add enough of what I wanted to make it creamy enough for my liking, but I think this is going to be perfect. And I did swirl into that mica on the top and textured the top a little bit. So now I'm going to cut into them. Just got to make sure it's lined up before I do cut it. Let's be sure. I'm going to end up having a little piece on the end. Let's see. Okay, so there we go. Cut into it. And that just cut like butter. That was really awesome. So this is a little end piece. I think I'll just save this piece for myself so I can test it out. And let's go ahead and focus here so that you guys can see what they look like. So that's it with the mica swirl on the top. And they definitely do look very creamy. And they smell so amazing, like coconuts. So like I mentioned before, I did make this as a small batch. This was only a 2-pound batch. So let's see, you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 full bars out of this. And then that little extra sliver that was on the end, which is this piece here, which is actually, I mean, it's decent. I guess you could say that's almost half of a bar. But yeah, there you go. Just wanted to show you the cutting of the bars like I promised at the end of the video. So that's what they look like. I'm gonna let these cure for several weeks, and then I think I may put it up for sale online, or I might take it back to the market. So that's cutting of the bars, guys. I'll have pictures and everything up on social media pretty soon. Okay, so I just showed you the cutting of the bars, and I can actually already tell I'm going to be very pleased with these bars. Just from me touching them while I was cutting them, and I went to go rinse that off of my hands, I can already feel the moisturizing properties. So I am very pleased already, and I can't wait for them to cure so that I can actually use it and you guys can actually try them out. But like I said before, I'm going to let them cure for several weeks. And when they're ready, I'm going to go ahead and put them up in my shop online. I'll put some information about that once it's ready. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you did enjoy this video, I would love it if you gave it a like. And if you want to see more videos from me, then go ahead and click the subscribe button. I hope everybody has a beautiful day, and I will see you in my next video.